Hello everyone. So, again, I will welcome you to my online class. Okay, of course, today we are going to discuss the subject occupation. And by the way, my name is teacher Angelica. So, now, are you ready to begin our class? Okay, that's great. So now let's go and discuss our lesson number 4. Okay, our lesson number 4 is all about clothes, and the title is Mending Clothes. Again, the title of our lesson today is about mending clothes. Okay, now let's begin our lesson for today. Okay, what is mending clothes? Okay, there are different ways to mend clothes, or there are different ways to fix your clothes. You just need to choose which method to use based on the damage. So of course, you have to look at first on the clothes if what damage do you have. So that's when you have to decide what way you're going to do, or what way you are going to use in order to fix your clothes. Okay, now today we're going to discuss one way of fixing your clothes. We have what you call running stitch. Okay, running stitch is a method to repair clothes that people do by hand. Okay, by hand. Of course, running stitch is a way to fix your clothes, but you will not use any machine to fix your clothes. You will do it on your own using your both hands in order to fix your clothes. And the length of each stitch can vary. Okay, so you can have different length of your stitch. It depends on how you want it to be. Okay, and then next one, but it's also recommended that stitches should not be too long. Of course, you have to make sure that your stitches is not too long to make it look good, because if you will have a very long stitches, it will not look good, and also um, the way you fix your clothes will not be that uh, good, because you're making a very long stitches. Okay, so you have to remember that running stitch is the way that you repair your clothes using your hand, and then there are different length of each stitches, and also remember that the stitches should not be too long. Okay, now let's go to the next. There are two types of running stitches. Okay, first is a straight stitch, or you can call it forward running stitch, and number two is a backward running stitch. Okay, first we're going to discuss the straight stitch or forward running stitch. Okay, forward running stitch or straight stitch is used for sewing the edge of the clothes or fabric, stitching up to two pieces of clothes, or making seams on the pockets of shirts or skirts. So of course, a straight stitch is, you will use this one if you are going to sew the edge of the clothes or the fabric, or you are going to sew two pieces of fabric. Okay, sewing the edge of the clothes or fabric, we have the first picture, that should be the example, or that is the example of sewing the edge of the clothes or the fabric. And we have the picture number 2, which is the example of stitching two pieces of clothes. As you can see, we have the black and the purple one. So we have two clothes that we used. Okay. And making seams on the pockets of skirts or shirts or skirts, we have these three examples. As you can see, it is the doing seams or making seams on the pockets of shirts or your skirts. Okay. In forward running stitch, we have the procedure. Okay, and the number one procedure, you should prepare your materials and tools such as the following. We have the thread. Okay, under the word thread, we have the picture of the different threads. Of course, you will need different colors of thread because it depends on what color of the fabric you're using or what color of your clothes that you will be fixing. So you have to choose a thread that would fit to the clothes that you're going to fix. And also scissors. We have different types of scissors. Of course, we need to use the scissors for cutting our clothes. The third picture is the needle, the one that you use together with the thread in order to fix your clothes. And the last one is the fabric. Of course, you will need the fabric when you are going to make your clothes. Okay. These are the tools. Remember, thread, scissors, needle, and the fabric. Step number 2 for forward running stitch. Fold the edge of the fabric. First picture is folding the edge of the fabric, as you can see. And then you have to stick them together by basting. Okay, we have picture number 2, that is basting. Okay, in the basting, this makes a temporary guideline to run the stitch. Okay, you will do basting for you to have a guideline when you will be doing your forward running stitch. So you have to do basting first. Of course, after you do your running stitch, you will be removing your basting after. And then the third procedure is to insert the thread through the eye of the needle. That is picture number 1 that we have, inserting the thread in the eye of the needle. And then after that, you have to tie the two ends of the thread together. Okay. Step number. Okay, next. Stop the needle up and down to make up to 4 stitches and then pull the needle to tighten the thread. Okay, you have to stop the needle first and then you have to pull the needle to tighten the thread. And number 6, you have to tie a knot at the end of the stitch and then you have to cut off the rest of the thread. First picture is tying a knot at the end of the stitch line, and then the second picture is cutting off the rest of the thread. If you're finished already, you need to tie the knot first at the end of your stitch or your stitch line, and then that's the time that you have to cut off the rest of the thread. Okay, now we have the procedure for backward running stitch. Of course, first you will have to prepare your materials and tools, same with the forward running stitch, such as the thread, the scissors, the needle, and the fabric. Of course, we have same tools or materials that we're needing for backward running stitch. Same procedure with forward running stitch. You have to fold the edge and then you have to stick them together by basting so that you will have a temporary guideline. Basting is for a temporary guideline to run the stitch. And then number 3, of course, you have to insert the thread through the eye of the needle, and then you need to tie both ends of the thread together. Same with the first or the forward running stitch. Fourth, you have to hide the knot at the back of the fabric. Same with this picture. And then number 5, you have to stop the needle about a centimeter behind the first stop. Okay, now let's continue. Number 5, stop the needle about a centimeter behind the first stop. As you can see, we have two different pictures. Number 1 is 1 and 2, and then you have to have a centimeter space between the first stop and the second stop. Okay. And number 6, stab the needle again from the bottom to the top, making a stitch forward. Then, point the needle at the end of the last stitch and stab it down through the back, as you can see in the picture. And then you have to repeat the process again and again, and the output will be same in this picture. Okay, as you can see, there is a difference between the forward stitch and the backward stitch. Backward stitch, you are making stitches that are close to each other. Okay, then same with the forward stitch, you have to tie the knot at the end of the stitch line, and then you have to cut off the rest of the thread. Same with the picture that we have. Picture number 1 is tying the knot, and then picture number 2 is cutting the rest of the thread. Okay, we have now two types of running stitch. Okay, as you can compare, we have the front stitches and the back stitches. So as you can see, there is a difference between the forward stitch and the back stitches, or front stitches and the back stitches. Okay, we have now the tools and materials for running stitch. The clothes. First one is the clothes or the fabric. Number 2 is needle, and it is advised to have the size 8 or 9 needle for running stitch, because you will be sewing using your hands, and it is advised to use the number 8 or number 9 needles. Of course, the thread that we are using, we have different colors of threads. And then next is the scissors or scissor. Okay, next is sewing tools and equipments for mending clothes. We have number 1, needles. Needles should be stubbed in the pin cushion or put it in a box. Same with the one that we have in the picture. Okay, the first picture or the second picture. Okay, how about the threads? Threads should be stored properly. Okay, as you can see in the picture, you have to put it in a box also, so that whenever you need it, you can find it easily. Okay, we have the benefits of mending clothes by yourself. What are the benefits? We have number one, it makes damaged clothes usable again. Of course, if you will be fixing the damaged clothes, you will be able to use it again. You don't need to buy a new one. And second is you can save money. Of course, you don't need to buy a new one, so you can use it again. And you will not spend your money anymore because you can just fix your clothes. And then number three, good way to spend free time. Of course, when you are bored, you can fix your damaged clothes in order to spend your free time. And then number four, it is a good skill to be used in the future career. Of course, in the future, maybe you really like to make clothes, gowns, or whatever. You can use these skills. You can make money out of these skills. So that is one of the benefit of mending clothes by yourself. Okay, I hope you understand our lesson for today. And also, I will advise you to watch the video again so that you will understand more our lesson for today. And that would be all. Thank you and have a good day.